Hey guys, and welcome back to the Trihard workshop. My name's G, and I sculpt minis. This week, I'm delving into the deepest reaches of the Imperial Palace and finding the best bits to bash a servitor. I'll be building it from scratch, then showing you how to get dank bronze and sepia effects with your paints. This servitor in particular is called Haraldo and is for an upcoming Killteam board we're building on the channel. He'll be used as an objective with 2 more objectives and a 22 by 30 board in the pipeline. If you're interested in Killteam, I suggest subbing to the channel as we've loads of content coming up. Otherwise, if you enjoy the build or the banter, check out our other videos and consider giving us your sub. So, entombing a human in wires is today's objective. With that, let's get stuck into the build. First up, we're going to need to gather the bits. We have this little Reaper figure, Chaos Marauder, green stuff or neededite, wire, although this wire was too big, you'll need paperclip size stuff. Yeah, this blue thing is a toy boat and it's the star of the show. As soon as Q, the other builder on the channel, gave it to me, I knew a servitor had to go in there. So to bring a bit of shape to the madness, I stenciled the boat and then began sketching out my initial thoughts. This build is heavily inspired by the work of John Blanche. His work is a cornerstone of 40k. I personally love his style, and it gave life to their particular brand of grimdark sci-fi. So we're looking for a lot of biological elements blending into technological hellscapes, arms ending in wires, faces drowning in cogitators. Really, we want this poor servant of the Emperor to be entombed in wires, with no hope left but to do the best job he can for the Imperium. On to bashing. At this stage, I just start sticking things together and see what works. The base model is an old Chaos Marauder that we've beheaded because we're going to be sculpting our own face. Gotta make that rictus of terror just perfect. Same thing here, I've wound some wire around a paintbrush to make a spring, and I'm lining the inside of the boat, beginning the process of building that jumble of wires. Take some green stuff and just blend the wires so they run seamlessly with the blue plastic. From a distance, they'll look embedded. This is one of the key takeaways from this build. You have to blend every element into the next. I've added some wires, trying to let them run with gravity down Haraldo's torso. You can see I'm gentle with the green stuff, as I'm not sure what way I want to take the build. So I decide to block in the shoulder and have the rest of the arm made entirely from wire. Just continue that process. Any bit of random wire that has ragged ends sticking out, fold a little putty over the top, round it off, and suddenly it's the power cup link attached to his chest. You can see the results here. We've got the Marauder, his upper arm replaced by wire. A knee joint from a Chaos defiler and another greeble from the defiler kit. There's the boat, and we're going to add some battery pillars. I just wrapped a little card around their tops to host these Reaper figures. I wanted to fill out the area behind the servitor, so I put one large wire, then bulked it out. You can see it just over Haraldo's shoulder. Pillars added, and we're just going to flatten their surface. Then it's on to blending those wires into the build. At the side, I blend the pillars with the wall and then paper mache their surface. I used a single sheet of fairly thick tissue paper and kept its natural texture intact for later paint texture. Candles are super easy and you'll want them everywhere in an Imperial build. Super simple, just cut some earbuds to length. Stick a thin piece of wire down their center. Then get a small blob of putty, stick it on the wire and pull the flame shape out. Some more background detailing with twisted wire. Alright, on to the big win of the video, sculpting a head. You'll need a little outcrop to begin with. It'll need to be firm and dry to support the face sculpting. Begin adding small pieces of putty in the rough proportions of a head. I added the bottom of the face first, as I wanted the jaw to be large and have plenty of room for invasive wiring. I added a little more to the forehead and rounded that out. This is where the magic happens. Take a straight edge tool and mark the eye lines straight across. Next, use a small sculpting spoon to deepen the eye sockets. Moving directly up and down from the centre of the eye will give you the bases for the cheekbones and brow ridge. Take a blade and press a horizontally thin diamond into the eye socket from the nose to the temple on either side of the face. You want to soften the points of the diamond at the top and bottom with the blade to get a natural eye shape. Just under the eyes, you can push a line of putty up, which will give the effect he has bags under his eyes, so long in servitude. Now we're really going to see it come together. Cut a flattened, downturned arrow for the mouth, really accentuate the frown for the grim darkness. For cheekbones, just run a curved tool horizontally across the cheek. Putting more pressure on the bottom edge of the tool, you can instantly see the contour. Keep pressing the tool around to the nose and you've gotten yourself a cheekbone. Now skip to the other side and try to keep everything symmetrical. To finish the mouth, press a dimple just below the nose and again just below the bottom lip. This gives the curvature around the mouth and a solid chin. The face is basically done. From here, I want to get a softer tool and clean up some areas and create a few openings for wires like at the mouth. Going back to the spoon, I straighten up the forehead, mark some furrow lines, and just generally look around for anything that needs tightened up. And your face is done. Leave it to dry completely before working on that area again. There's nothing worse than a fat thumb on a cheek without you noticing. Final piece to add before we get painting. Two undercoats happening today. The train piece itself we're basing Aedh on black, which will give us some darker metallics. Need to stick the final pieces together. We've a little book, some candles, and begin basing the other bits. Corax white, because we'll need desaturated sepia tones on the skin, parchment, and candles. On to colours, and we're beginning with Dawnstone for Haraldo's console. We want there to be a grey backdrop so it blends with whatever terrain piece we make for the Killteam board. The wires we're just going to hit with Lead Belcher and Balthazar Gold, the same for the wires on Haraldo. Wait a minute, what's this? They've all been based? Alright, hands up, I messed up. I deleted some footage whilst editing this video, but I'm not trying to cheat you out of anything. Next week, we'll have a video detailing my full bronze method on this Thunder Warrior, and because I messed up, here's a proper preview. We only lost the basing and the real tricks in the washes, so here we go. Everything bronze is based Balthazar Gold, then giving an edge with Retributor armour. Under that, we're liberally applying Reichland Flesh Shade. This will give a dank red hue to your metallics and serve as a perfect base. Get it on your Lead Belcher too, to make it look like old, half-rotted iron. The skin is based Flayed One Flesh, and we're going to blast the whole thing with flesh tone. For anything sepia, we're just basing with Corax white, then drenching it in Seraphim sepia. Next, we're going to use Pallid Witch Flesh to highlight the skin, parchment, and candles. We want to keep the metallics pretty subdued, so I'll go in with a light touch with Ironbreaker, even on some of the bronze areas, for a multifaceted wear and tear effect. Next is my favourite colour ever, Auric Gold. It's a really warm gold colour, and it's the last step to the perfect bronze. Next week, we'll go into more detail on every part of this process, but for now, check out that colour. Time to wrap this up. We need a few binding elements. First, begin rolling parchment. Just flatten putty, cut at the length, and drape it over a few brushes. Let it dry and you've got perfect parchment. Corax white and Seraphim sepia and they're done. You can add a little writing onto them for added effect. Here are the bits, ready to get stuck together. It was a bit of a tight fit in the end, after checking and rechecking. The loot is just a natural part of building. Once everything's in place, we're going to blend the elements together into one holistic build. Take some putty and sculpt in the melted wax at the bottom of the candle. Make sure to have long bits drip down the edge. Stick the parchment pieces to the front and sides, place a little putty bolt on top and get them painted up. And there you go, complete. How about that? There he is, Haraldo the Servitor, 200 years into his eternal service, and 75 years into that one itch he just can't get at. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, hit us with a sub, and until next time, try hard.